Hey guys.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good. Pretty good.
Before I start the interview, I want to just applaud you. You're doing kind of like a reverse Beatles now, where everyone's barefoot except one person. So that's done on purpose or no?
Yeah, we're all dead except for Zach. Beatles killed their bass player. We killed everyone except.
So we're here at the Capitol Theater in Portchester. You guys are about to go on before Silver Sun Pickups, and you guys have a very different sound. Like, I know that you all fall in the general alt, universe, but what's your take on that? Do you think your sounds complement Silver Sun? No, we don't. We're not even playing tonight, dick. And you guys just walk out. Go ahead.
I just think words like indie and alternative now are all bullshit because like indie is, funny enough, a lot of people don't know that's a root of independent, which is completely ridiculous about. And then alternative, you have like all the Mumford and Sons, Lumineers, Monsters and Men. They're all like Hobbit pub songs, and then you have,
which is really why we have our shoes off.
And then you have, which is all great. We like all of that kind of stuff. And then there's like, you have Fits and Tantrums and Metric and Silver. So that's like very, and you can go even further with that, like very electronic and Atari theme songs, like, which we like all that. But I think it's stupid that it all goes under like alternative and indie, So I don't really consider us to be either. But the thing is, like, I think with personalities, and Silver Sun's awesome, the crew's awesome, the band's awesome, we've enjoyed it. Like, I think people that are like hardworking and love music, and like we're more than happy to tour with, any of them. I mean, we got along. We went on tour with Noel Gallagher, and I don't know if we're technically the same. I don't know what that even means now to be the same genre. We're pretty much just rock and roll, and rock and roll kind of has a bad name nowadays. But we're more than happy to say we're rock and roll.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about that a little bit, because I mean, genres are kind of meaningless now because everything falls into pop. But in terms of rock, I feel like Foo Fighters are the only like universally accepted rock band, and I feel like no one else. Yeah. So I mean, maybe Kings of Leon, to a certain degree, but
well, I think kind of. I mean, I don't think Use Somebody or Sex on Fire. Like a lot of people was like that's when they're not. Yeah, they're not. That's when they weren't rock. I mean, Black Keys are kind of a rock band. I mean, I think Gaslight Anthem is a rock band. I think but it's just weird because then you have these rock bands that can do pop songs that are still considered rock, but then you have pop bands that do rock songs that are still considered. It's just all bullshit. I think whoever's making money, they like calling themselves what they want to feel like they want to be more so than what they really are.
But I feel like rock is, in a lot of ways, like non-existent. And I'm glad you lit the match because I'm going to blow some smoke up your guys' asses. And by the way, that's what's called a segue in Journalism 101. Thank you. Thank you for that non-moon. But like listening to your debut and even more so now, like I hope you guys can like save rock and roll a little bit. Because when I was listening to your record, I'm like, good, finally, like a rock record, like just rock. There's no bullshit. It's just pure rock in its purest form.
Don't put all that weight on our shoulders.
Yeah, don't fuck up because
we'll take a lot of it, but I don't think we can carry the thing.
I don't know. I mean, you have everything's branded with you guys, so I mean, you kind of have to know it a little bit.
Talking about.
Thank you.
We did start the fire. No, I think it's just like people are worried too much, and I think there was a time when there was a clear vision, people wanted to do something, people caught on, and it was what it was, and they didn't call it like, gee, what does the new Ramones album sound like? It was just the fucking Ramones.
Right.
And
it sounded like the last album.
Clash. It was like, yeah, exactly. I mean, there's some really cool bands in the last 10 years where they started getting weird is because they tried to change. The Strokes, in my opinion, could have done the first two albums for the next 40 years, and I would have listened to them. Yeah. And I think 9 out of 10 people, and not that I'm against what they're doing, but it's not what they were doing. And I think sometimes, like, you don't need to jump through hoops or reinvent the wheel or be somebody's dancing monkey. I mean, on this second album, we've tried to be a bigger version of ourselves, a more thought out version of ourselves, a more layered version of ourselves. But just as the same way that a boxer goes in and goes, okay, well maybe I threw too many jabs the first round and like wore myself out. Let me wait a little bit so then I have a hook straight to an uppercut. And I think that's what our first album was a lot of just swinging, go like, yeah, we're honest. I think the second one was like, all right, let's pace. That's why I did interludes where it was like, catch your breath. Now it's back to 1,000,000 miles an hour. Okay, it was a little bit more, but genre-wise or artistically, we're not like, let's change it all.
Let's do this.
Because all that means is when a band does that is that they didn't believe themselves either.
Mm-hmm.
If unless you're talking about something like Joshua Tree, the Octune, where it was like, okay, let's just fuck it all up.
Right.
That's different, but that's not like, but they also tried to do that 10 years later and failed. So it's,
Right.
I just think like we're okay with what we do, and there's not a whole lot of desire in any of us to change it or make it fit into, like you said, an indie or an alt or how do you do that. And what's hilarious is we do all these interviews at radio stations, whether it's Alt Nation or all these things like indie rock, and everyone agrees. Everyone agrees that all these names are silly, but we all continue to use these names. It's like, I don't know.
Well, I don't know. Speaking as a journalist, like it's just easy to just for point of reference, just to even like if I was like Mona, a cross between X and X, like it's just everyone. If I do it, I just assume people are stupid sometimes. So like I kind of have to spell it out a little bit. I lost all my readership after that comment, but like they're not watching anyway. Well, you know what I'm saying?
Do it on everything. Like, oh, you're doing this pizza place? Yeah, it's a little bit like, oh, have you seen this girl? Yeah, she's hot. She's got her tits like this, and the brunette like this, and lips like this, and like we can do it with everything. But it's with art, I think that if it's something that's sacred, which it's losing that sacred thing every year that goes by, you want to take time to at least describe it. You could look at a Calvin and Hobbes comic, or you could go to a museum and say, yeah, there was shapes and colors. It's pretty safe. It's similar. It's all the same. I mean, how lazy do we want to get? And I think some things are sacred. And I say this in almost every interview. Like for us, it's about the human element and the human emotions. Because whether it's a car crash or a wedding day or a firstborn child, like you're going to respond from your own self with an emotion that is human, that only comes from you. And we're up there, and we've had deaths in the family while we're making this album, insane sicknesses where more than one of us were in the ER. We've had relationship issues, we've had family issues, and like we're not going like what leather jacket should we wear on this next thing. We're going like, fuck, like we need to stay sane. And then out of the humanity is where songs come, and those emotions, hope they're conveyed. And then when a person hears them, we don't give a fuck if they're going, oh, they're the love. It's like, no, man, I heard that song and it made me like think about my father. Or I heard that song when my loved one died. Or I saw a girl walking down the street and heard that song and it made me think of that. I'd rather be a soundtrack of someone's life than for anybody to think we're cool.
That's awesome. So, like, there's no deep hidden agenda 2 years from now. Oh, that's our Uptown Baby record. Like, you just are gonna do you don't have like a Sgt. Pepper in the back of your mind at some point. You're just making music.
I think not out of an artistic thing to try to be like, look at us. I think we'll get to the point as humans where we'll probably be so frustrated with something that we need to express that in a different way. And I think maybe. Because I'm not bashing those albums, because those were probably people who were like, fuck this, we're done with this, like, let's go here. And I think sometimes it's done honestly. Other times it's like, since we have no good songs, no creativity, well, let's just try to be eccentric. And that'll never happen with us. What will happen is like, okay, I don't want to be here, so I need to bang on something differently. Vince could come in one day and be like, I'm not using drumsticks ever again. Like, okay, well, let's figure it out, because we're going to have to, it's not going to be cool, it'll be because he's
what the hell are you going to play, man? Come on.
I'm going to walk in with a trombone.
It's a lot easier to load and set up.
A what?
Kazoo.
I'll give you lessons on that.
Penny flute.
I'm a pro on the kazoo.
Something.
So let me ask you
As
totally.
long as it's honest.
Right.
honest and natural.
Right. Like a natural progression with the band. Like even when you two failed with pop, which they kind of did.
Oh, easy. Those are fighting words.
Hold on, I'm not.
Okay,
No, no, just hear where I'm going.
No, I know. I want to see where it goes with this.
It's a great album. There's a lot of great songs on there, but I think a lot of the backlash was they did the tour connected to Giant Lemon, where they played maybe 3 of their hit songs,
Yeah,
and fans didn't go
press
for it.
release from the Kmart that went over
Right,
to
and they did the whole. Didn't they walk out like the YMCA? They were all dressed like that.
But lyrically, it was the most
brilliant.
honest shit he's ever said.
Yep.
Where he's, for the one time, giving God the finger and saying, "Fuck you, wake up, dead man. I'm alone in this world, and the fucked up world it is too."
Mhm.
Like, that's not like, where the streets have no names, and I went to El Salvador. I'm rich and I'm helping people. That was like, I'm confused. I'm scared. That was him being honest.
Yeah.
And I think they got caught up in the, once again, what we're talking about, they got caught up in the marketing of it all. As opposed to going like, hey, we've been doing this successfully for a long time, but we're a bunch of like angry Irish dudes that in our own heads have said specifically, we don't deserve to be here, but we've been here. Fuck you, here's an album called Pop. And like, if it just would have had a piece of duct tape with Pop written over it, and they didn't do any press releases, that could have been the biggest album of all time. You don't know.
You're probably right. Yeah.
The dangerous thing about our society is that all of it's based on presentation, and a lot of times you're not really tasting the food. You're looking at the food, but sustenance comes from eating the food, not looking at it. But when we go to restaurants and we don't like the presentation, nah, it's okay. And we don't even taste
part
it.
of it too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we understand it's always a part of it, but it's also a dangerous thing to get caught up in.
So, by the way, this is where another journalist will be like, so, do you guys aspire to be the next U2? So instead, I'm going to say, who do you want to see in Expendables 3?
Ooh.
That's a good question.
Kimbo
Kimbo
Slice.
Slice.
Why not?
They should do like a.
The Rock. Was he on the Expendables?
Is it?
No.
Who's already been in them? Everyone,
Chuck Norris.
Everyone- Chuck-
Sly.
Chuck Norris's kid should be in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you seen him? Dallas or something?
No.
Billy Blanks should be in it.
Ooh,
Typo
nice.
dude.
They should do like a Look Who's Talking meets the Expendables, where it's like all the kids.
I like it.
Before
I like
they
it.
get there.
Or just have like a wild card like Rick Moranis.
Yeah.
Ah.
Right?
Have you ever heard his music?
Oh, I have.
It's great.
Okay.
I just want to go to a Rick Moranis show for free. So
I just want the guy to act again.
Let me follow that up with like, not everyone in this band has the same opinions.
Well, cool, guys. Listen, good luck with the album. All right? It's really awesome.
Thank you.
Not just saying that because I'm in your dressing room. And
We have the door locked. You can't get out.
Fuck.
Let you out.
I just want to see my kid again. And I'm assuming you'll be out on the road most of the year. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So I know you're with Silver Sun now, and then we were talking off camera. You'll be on the road with the limousines.
We
right?
go to London, and then we come back, and then we shoot a video, and then we come back, and then we go out the co-headlining thing, limousines, like pretty much all the way to December.
Cool. Awesome.
Looking forward
You
to
guys
that.
still have homes somewhere, or
Yeah.
you're still all in Nashville?
pretty much.
Kind of. I have a home in Nashville right now. These Kentucky boys are in Kentucky, and then he's got a place in.
Cool.
Nashville.
Good luck. Save rock and roll, okay? Because I'm on camera. My son sees this, and you guys don't get there. He's not really gonna care, but
It's not going to make a difference.
it'll just be one of the many
One way or the
disappointments. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.